Right, so I took a loss during the 4-hour close during London. The mistake was made when I saw that the 4-hour closed right at previous resistance. So on the lower time frames, it actually looked like it was forming support at the 4-hour zone which I had drawn over here. So the mistake that I made was basing it off the 15-minute support, which isn't strong enough, seeing that the 1 hour time frame was actually closing really bearish, and the 4 hour had also closed bearish. I placed I placed a little too much emphasis on the fact that there was a very small wick, thinking that it wouldn't come down. But when I looked at it on the 4 hour, the rejections to the daily high at 140 actually has been weaker, making lower highs. This was actually lower than this previous area. So I think that GJ should actually come down lower today. So based on the bearish bias from the 4 hour, the impulse entry shot could have been taken here when the 4 hour candle actually closed and broke through this minor support on the 30-minute. So when it came back to retest and then formed new resistance and broke below this wick lows over here, that could have been the sign for the impulse entry shot. For I would have aimed my first take profit to be at the Asia lows here, and then the next TP would have been at previous daily support, because on the 4 hour we had clean candles going all the way down, and same thing for the 1 hour as well. Took a long when the 30-minute formed support at the previous daily support, which was over here at 13891. So once price actually broke above the wick, I entered long with my stop loss below. So because this was quite a large stop loss of about 20 pips, it was a smaller position. So in addition, I think what I could have done better on this trade was, because there's actually high impact news coming in about 11 minutes, about 15 minutes before when I had my entry, I could have just taken the whole trade off here and not left the runner. For that way I would have gotten a bit more profits out of this trade before getting hit at hit in profit. This was my last GJ long trade. So it's a continuation from the previous one that got stopped in profits. So this one I entered after the high impact Canadian news. So when it closed above the minor zone at 139150, I actually entered a long trade once the price actually broke above the previous candle wick, with my stop loss below this 30-minute candle. So my first take profit was actually at 139,400, because if we look at the 1 hour, this area was actually a strong support which was broken. So there was a very high chance that it would come back to test this area. So I was anticipating that price should actually correct all the way up to 139,830, but then it actually hit my stop loss in profit when it rejected the 139,400 area. So seeing that this area was actually quite a strong zone, I closed most of the position off and then just left about 20 to 25% of the trade to hit the final take profit, which would have been at 139,830 based on the clean candles on the left here. So overall, was kind of a